My name is Joel Thomas, and I'm the president here at Pride Conveyance Systems.
Would you mind walking through your career in the can industry?
I graduated from high school in June of 1987. And 2 days out of school, I found myself in an interview at Weeby Manufacturing. The person that was interviewing me asked me what my name was. I said, Joel Thomas. And he said, well, heck, we're second cousins. He goes, can you start on Monday? Weeby Manufacturing originated as a local company that was predominantly around the farming community. But when I had the opportunity to go to work there, they were Raymond Corporation, and they were already building comparable conveyance systems that we manufacture today. In fact, all the founders of Pride Conveyance were basically department managers there at the time. I was only 17, so for the first 3 months that I was there, for insurance reasons, I couldn't touch power tools, but started out in crating and then worked my way into assembly. And then about 3.5 years later, Raymond Corporation had sold Weeby Manufacturing to the Stoli division of Alcoa, and they were relocating it to Sydney, Ohio. So it's what prompted Shannon Pride, Bill Stewart, Mike Zagragan, Ruben Padilla, and Pat Jordan to go and start Pride Conveyance in 1990. And then Pat Jordan had called me and said that they had acquired their first large air conveyor job for Ball up in Whitby, Canada, and asked me if I was interested in coming to work for them. I said, let me go jump on board with Pride and see where it goes. It's always fun to be part of something that started out in its infancy and matures to what Pride has become today. At first, there was the five founders and then me and a couple other guys. And we had a unique experience at that time frame because we would go out, do the business development piece. We would come back. We were fabricators. We were painters. We were assemblers. We were fitting specialists. We manufactured the equipment. Then we went out and had the opportunity to install it and commission it. And the practical experience that we gained, having had the opportunity to work through that, set the stage. And then we started developing and refining and always a constant improvement in our product lines. So we became the innovators and the engineers to establish the Pride product line. And then it was that practical hands-on piece that we learned how to make it run well and how to perform well for our customers.
Can you walk me through when you guys became part of Roeslein and how life has changed from those early days?
The decision was made in 2018 to sell Pride Conveyance and have it become part of the Roeslein Associates family. Now, for Roeslein, it set the stage that they weren't going to have to worry about what production capacity Pride had available. And the marriage made sense. It allowed us to take what we were doing on the conveying side, what they were doing on the unit section, steel and pipe, and construction management, and even the phase one engineering, and marry that all together to offer a better value to the can maker. Roeslein was very forward thinking to have a bigger impact and have more of a global footprint. So Roeslein Shanghai was kicked off, and that really set the stage for Pride as a product line to start to have a bigger footprint as well. It really allowed us to take that to the next level, to be able to manufacture and compete. You fast forward to where we're at today, and the Pride product line is being manufactured here in Holster, still its birthplace, but also in Shanghai, China, Sao Paulo, Brazil, Poland, and Redbud, Illinois. And we had also acquired the old Sager facility, what was previously a competitor of ours, which was Sager Manufacturing. At the time of the acquisition, I was director of manufacturing here at Pride. So I became director of manufacturing for the Pride brand globally within the Roeslein family. And then I was vice president of Pride as the brand for a couple years. And then our founder, Shannon Pride, was beginning to look at taking a step back, not having daily responsibilities. January 1st of 2024, I took over as president of Pride.
Can you walk me through the major steps of bringing a conveyance project to life?
Once the project has been defined, scope is defined, proposal's been issued, we're going to assign a manufacturing project manager. His or her sole responsibility is going to be to put together a project timeline with major milestones and then become that key liaisons for the customer. And they're going to be watching to make sure that engineering is done on time, that parts are being procured on time, and then they're going to be intimate with literally going out on the shop floor, watching it being manufactured, verifying that it's executed in alignment with the pre-established project schedule. And then they stay married to that. even do installation. And then even during commission, hey, something got damaged. I need a little bit more belting, or we need to replace this component, or I've got a warranty request. We've got a motor that doesn't want to start. So they're going to continue to support that project from PO issuance all the way through commissioning of the line.
Help me understand just an order of magnitude. When you go to ship the conveyance for a single can line, what does that look like physically?
It really depends on the size of the project, and an entire line could be upwards of about 80 containers.
That is a lot more than I expected. So I imagine organization and marking parts and pieces accordingly is extremely important.
We'll have a general arrangement drawing that shows the entire plant. So if you were just going to work on line 1 cup conveying, there's going to be a dedicated drawing for that. There'll be overall plan view and elevation views, but then there'll also be installation tabs. So you can go and see the conveyor component that is shipped from here is marked with an identification tag. It's got a QR code. In fact, all that is used to automatically produce packing slips and bill of ladings and everything. That's how we're able to keep track of that.
When you talk to a customer about the design of a new conveyance system, what are some of the important variables or factors to consider?
What is the speed they want to run? What are the can sizes they're going to run? What are the can weights? And what's the overall productivity efficiency of that line?
Are there any interesting or notable industry trends that are important when looking at a conveyance design?
The trends in the industry are a lot of diversified packaging. We see a huge number of different can sizes compared to where we were 2 decades ago.
Are there any type of systems or devices that help change over more quickly between different can sizes?
Yes, there's some projects we've done where you can go over to an HMI interface, you select your can size and say go, and then now you've got cranks and adjustments that are set up on servo motors that are automatically moving to what the new can size is. Again, it does it where you don't have to put a resource on it. It does it with exact repeatability. We find ourselves in an era, and this is across all manufacturing, that trying to automate, trying to reduce the headcount it takes to operate a line. In the can making industry, you've got certain tests that need to be done. Whether it's an axle load or crush and buckle, an amarator checking the inside spray coating. Historically, you would have people in the plant that would be going and getting samples, bringing those back to a lab, conducting tests on those, and then logging that data. Where now we've got mechanisms that will pull samples out of the line based on whatever your testing frequency is. So that's automatically getting pulled out of the line and then fed down into an automated gauging machine, which can ensure that check happens on time all the time.
How does light weighting affect conveyance design?
The can making process happens very fast. And you got cans that are hitting cans. And before, maybe those cans weren't hitting that hard, but the cans were robust enough that they could handle that impact. Whereas as the cans get lightweighter, they are less durable to handle some of the historical conveying processes.
What type of systems were fine historically for handling a heavier duty can, and what might that change to today to be more gentle with it?
I'll pick an example being like a spray discharge and going to an IBO oven. Years ago, the cans would get the inside spray and it would drop straight down vertically. It would go into a conveyor that had 2 belts. So that these cans are dropping in and then they're running on those 2 belts and they're headed towards the IBO oven. As that came out of this spray machine, then it goes to the next spray machine. You got another can that's going to fall and hit on top. And then you've got 6 or 7 or 8 or 10 spray machines in a row. Maybe that can gets hit 5 or 6 times before it even goes to the IBO oven. Now we would come out of that spray machine in a fitting. We'll place the can and we'll set it on top of a conveyor belt where we've got it in a controlled environment. It's not crashing into another can.
I recently saw one of your cup or discharge table where there's a nice big curve on that air table. I'm assuming that is designed in such a way so that the cups aren't colliding with each other. Is that correct?
It's exactly the same principle, right? Historical cup press discharges were just a perpendicular conveyor that was right out of the press, and the cups would fly, crash into the wall on the other side, cups hitting cups, and then they eventually change direction and go downstream. Whereas right now, as you continue to lightweight, the cups can't handle that impact. You're going to be getting dents in that cup. It's going to impact the quality of it, getting drawn and ironed in the body maker. We can come out, we can change directions, we can slow those down because there's a lot of velocity getting them discharged from the press. So we can get them out onto a conveyor, we can slow them down, merge them together. That's exactly the same principle.
Is there something that you wish more customers knew about Pride Conveyance Systems?
We're not just a conveyance manufacturing company. We're a resource for the can makers. We have customer service. We have service technicians. We have lots of customers. We go in and help them convert all the conveyance when they're doing can size conversions. We go in and we'll help them conduct preventative maintenance during maintenance days. We go in and perform conveyance audits. I've got several customers just come in and say, hey, our spoilage is above our benchmark in the printed can system. Come up here, performance conveyance audit. Let me know what we need us to do. And it doesn't necessarily turn into some major project that requires new conveying. It might just be going in, doing some rebuilding and renovations on their existing systems. But to summarize it, we are a resource to help the can makers. We're not just a conveyance manufacturer.
I genuinely appreciate all of your time today. It's fascinating speaking to somebody as knowledgeable as you are on all of this stuff. So thank you very much for your time.